Sophia Tierra gets on a private jet to save her empire, but by morning, her boardroom crisis has turned into a deserted island problem with no phone, no food, and one fake flight attendant. This is Lost in Paradise, where a fashion mogul and a nervous chef discover that being lost might be the only way to find the life they actually want. The movie begins with Sophia running Tierra like a one-woman command center, choosing fabric colors, moving appointments, and keeping everyone around her in motion. She is polished, intimidating, and clearly exhausted. But when her ex-husband Mario calls through his lawyers, the real pressure finally hits. Mario owns a piece of the company, and he wants to sell his shares to Lux Clothiers. Sophia knows exactly what that means. Cheaper production, colder decisions, and a brand she built by hand being reshaped by people who do not understand it. At dinner, Mario tries to make the sales sound practical, but Sophia hears betrayal. She asks for a few months to prove Tierra can rebound. But Mario is already taking the deal to the board, so her company has 1 week before it can be pushed in a direction she hates. The next day, Sophia gathers her team and maps out the board votes like a battlefield. She believes if she can convince Cassandra and Fiji, the other undecided directors may follow. A video call will not be enough, so Sophia decides to fly there immediately with the summer collection in tow. Across town, Chef Max is stuck working for Antoine while his dream of owning a real restaurant still stings from an old failure. His pilot friend Julian bursts in with an opportunity. A tech billionaire named Austin Daniels might invest in Max, but only if Max can get a Fiji fast. The problem is Max's work, fear, and a recent restaurant collapse called Parasol hanging over him. Julian sees all of that and pushes anyway. He tells Max this could be his way back, and before Max can think too hard, he is dragged toward a private jet that was supposed to be empty, except it is not empty. Sophia has booked the same jet at the last second, and Julian panics because Max is not supposed to be there. His solution is wildly simple. Max will pretend to be the in-flight attendant, smile politely, serve snacks, and stay out of trouble until Fiji, Max boards under the fake role, meets Sophia and her little dog Gianni, and immediately looks like a man who would rather be anywhere else. Sophia notices the awkwardness, but she's too focused on the company crisis to investigate. Max tries to act professional, then accidentally proves he is far more useful in the galley than he is as cabin crew. He prepares a beautiful meal from the plane supplies, adds his own touch to the sauce, and even wins over Gianni. Sophia is surprised, then softened, because this awkward attendant has somehow made the worst travel day feel less cold. When Max overhears enough to understand her problem, Sophia opens up just a little. Her ex is threatening everything she built, and Max can relate to the pain of watching a dream wobble under pressure. For a few minutes, they're not mogul and imposter. They are two people trying not to lose the thing that defines them. Then the weather turns, the jet hits a storm, the pilots search for a diversion, and the calm luxury cabin becomes chaos. Sophia wants procedures, answers, and control, but control is the first thing the movie takes away from her. As turbulence worsens, Max finally confesses he is not a flight attendant at all. He is Julian's chef friend, secretly hitching a ride to meet an investor. And now he is confessing this while the plane is in serious trouble. It is the worst possible first honest conversation. The jet goes down in the ocean, and when Sophia wakes, the survivors are on an island with the aircraft gone. Julian explains that their location is uncertain. The black box may not help, and the search area could be enormous. Everyone is alive, but rescue may take days or longer. Their supplies look hopeful for about 3 seconds, until the food bag floats just out of reach and disappears. Julian and co-pilot Lance decide to take the raft and look for help, leaving Sophia, Max, and Gianni on the beach with very little. Lance warns them to stay out of the jungle, which somehow makes the jungle feel even more inviting. At first, Sophia treats survival like an inconvenience between meetings. She unpacks designer samples, worries about wrinkles, and explains that these clothes are not vanity. They represent a company full of employees depending on her. Max teases the overpacking, but he also starts to understand what Tierra means to her. They need shelter, rope, and tools. And the only useful fabric around is Sophia's collection. She resists cutting up handmade pieces from Italy, but survival wins. Sophia chooses which items can be sacrificed, and the first big compromise of the island is turning luxury fashion into rope. As they build a shelter, Max asks how Sophia became a designer, and the answer changes the way he sees her. Her mother taught her to sew. She transformed thrifted clothes as a kid, then sold designs from the trunk of her car until Tierra became a global brand. The company is not just status, it is history, labor, and pride. Meanwhile, Julian and Lance struggle against the current in the raft, proving their rescue plan is not as heroic as it sounded. Back on the beach, Max tries to make fire the hard way, while Sophia quietly remembers she has a lighter in her sewing kit. She lets him struggle for a bit, then reveals it with perfect timing. It is the first sign that this survival disaster might also be fun. Rain drives them into the shelter that night, and by morning the island raises the stakes again. Their remaining food and water are gone, and Gianni has vanished. Sophia panics, but Gianni soon leads them to fresh water, accidentally becoming the island's most valuable explorer. Away from the island, Sophia's team and the authorities begin searching. Miranda flies in to help, and everyone tries to keep the missing jet from becoming a media circus. The search is limited by resources, and the vast number of islands makes the rescue feel painfully uncertain. On the beach, hunger forces Sophia and Max to get practical. They try fishing with homemade spears, mostly embarrassing themselves until Sophia finally lands one. Then a shark scare sends them racing back to shore, shaken but laughing because they actually survived another ridiculous thing. Max cooks with whatever they can find, turning fruit, fish, and island scraps into a meal that amazes Sophia. It reminds her that creativity can happen without perfect conditions, and it reminds him that his gift still works even far from a proper kitchen. Their connection deepens through small, everyday moments, a foot injury, jokes about grocery shopping in the jungle, and Sophia redesigning Max's awful island clothes. She admits she almost forgot how much she loves creating with her hands, because meetings and crisis management have swallowed the joy of design. Max talks about Parasol, the restaurant that failed before he was ready. He loved the cooking but underestimated the business, and the collapse left him afraid to try again. Sophia does not mock him, because she understands what it means to build something with your whole heart and still feel it slipping. They climb to a high point looking for anything useful, and for one bright moment, they think they are saved. They spot signs of people, props, and a camp that seems abandoned. Max senses something is off, but Sophia wants to believe rescue is finally here. Then the people return, dressed like pirates, and the movie turns their hope into a chase. Sophia and Max run through the island with Gianni separated from them, hiding while these supposed pirates call out for them. It sounds absurd, but from their perspective it is terrifying enough. They realize the strangers have transportation, which means the danger might also be their way off the island. That night, while waiting for a chance to steal the boat, Sophia and Max lie under the stars and finally say the things they avoid in real life. Max admits he is afraid Austin will say yes, because success would mean risking another failure. Sophia admits she is not sure what success is giving back to her anymore. Max gently suggests that stepping back from daily control is not giving up. It might be leadership. And Sophia, who has spent years proving she can carry everything, starts to wonder if letting others help could save both her company and herself. Their almost romance becomes impossible to ignore, even with fake pirates somewhere nearby. In the morning, they make their move. They sneak to the boat, try to launch it, then switch to a jet ski when things go wrong. Their escape becomes a chaotic chase across water and land, with Max and Sophia acting braver than they feel. Just when the pursuers close in, Julian and Lance appear, and the truth finally lands. These are not real pirates. They work for a nearby resort's treasure hunt experience. Sophia and Max were never alone in the way they thought. A full resort was on the other side of the island the whole time. It is embarrassing, hilarious, and wildly relieving. Gianni turns up safe at the resort, and Sophia realizes the search struggle because everyone was looking in the wrong kind of place. After days of fear, hunger, and improvisation, civilization is suddenly a shower, clean clothes, and the possibility of room service. At the hotel, Sophia and Max finally have a quiet moment without storms or spears. He suggests she stay and relax a little, and she wants to, but the world rushes back, and immediately, reporters, cameras, company questions, and a luck sail waiting like nothing changed. Sophia tries to balance the new life she felt on the island with the old responsibilities pulling her away. Max learns Austin still wants to meet him, and Julian encourages him to focus on the restaurant opportunity. Meanwhile, Mario calls Sophia, sounding shaken and relieved, but the sale problem has not vanished. Sophia understands that her employees and her company need a real answer, not another delay. She books a flight to chase down board support, leaving before she can properly say goodbye to Max. Max finds only a note and worries the island connection was just an extraordinary bubble. Sophia feels the same ache from the other side, carrying Gianni in a suitcase full of responsibility while wondering why leaving feels so wrong. On the plane, Sophia looks at the refined summer designs and realizes they no longer feel alive. The island changed her eye. She saw beauty and function, improvised clothing, sun-worn fabric, and the freedom of making something because it matters. So she calls her team with a new direction at the same time. Max meets Austin and starts pitching the safe restaurant he thought investors wanted. Then he stops himself because the island taught him the best food came from limitations. He pitches something bolder, island-inspired, hyper-local, creative food shaped by whatever the place can offer. Austin loves it and agrees to invest. Then Sophia walks in because she turned back at the airport instead of running to another meeting. She has already spoken with Mario. He is not selling, and Miranda will handle daily operations as co-CEO. Sophia has finally chosen trust over control. Max has chosen courage over fear, and now they can choose each other without the island forcing the issue. Sophia tells Max that being stranded with him was one of the best things that ever happened to her, and Max jokes that maybe they needed to get lost to find paradise. It is cheesy, but for once, cheesy is exactly right later. Max's restaurant is thriving. Austin is delighted. Miranda is succeeding at Tierra. And Sophia's new Castaway-inspired summer line has become a hit. What started as a corporate emergency and a terrible lie on a private jet somehow gave everyone the reset they needed. Julian even offers to fly them anywhere. But after everything they have survived, a train sounds much more romantic. If this island taught us anything, it is that paradise is not the place with the best view. It is the place where you finally stop pretending. So if you would risk one fake pirate chase for a second, chance, keep this story close and pack a lighter. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this. Thanks for watching.